What is going on, everyone? Before we begin, if you do like my content, make sure to subscribe to the channel and like today's video. What we're going to break down is how to defend shotgun bunch tight end. It's a super frustrating formation to guard, mainly because of whips and halfback off tackle, two overpowered plays in the game. I'm going to cover how to stop each of them. We're also going to touch on PA verticals and then basically how to cover some other things in the formation, just like corner routes or cover three bombs, stuff like that people might throw at you. So to begin, I'm going to just show what I like to do to set up my defense. It's going to be my 3 high odd defense. It's what I prefer versus shotgun bunch tight end. Now what we do here to set it up, we go ahead and select slot cornerback package. And then I go ahead and make sure that auto flip is on. Now also versus bunch tight end, I want to set my hook zones to 5. This is going to be key in order to stop whips. So aside from that here, you want to make sure you have a looper that has quick jump. That's big for this defense as well. And then we want to go ahead and select cover 2 shell. This is going to give you the same look every time regardless of formation that you're facing. So let's go ahead and dive into the breakdown here of how I defend bunch tight end. So to begin, I'm going to start by just explaining how I set up the defense here. This is going to be a pretty standard shell for what I run versus bunch tight end. I go ahead, I shade down, I contain, I move this guy over a couple of yards, and that's all you have to do to set up the blitz. Now, this safety here on the left, I'll usually put on a third. Then I go ahead and cloud the outside cornerback, so Burke over here. And then my middle linebacker, I'll hover down here outside of the end and put him in a hook zone. Now, you can also do another shell here. Sometimes I'll do a cover 2. And then this guy here, depending on what they run, if they run a lot of RPOs, you can go ahead and man him up. If you feel like they're going to run a corner, you can potentially man him up as well, or just put him in a yellow zone that's going to play at 5 yards. Now, for the sake of the play here, you can see that they're going to be running stock whips. So what I basically do here, you can run this cover 2 shell, or I'll just show it versus this standard one. This is like my stock coverage shell that I like to run versus basically any formation in the game. But what I'm going to do immediately post snap, I'm going to switch stick to this middle safety. I'm going to hover in the middle of the field and watch this whip route on the left hand side. And then also that little like curl over the middle of the field that number 3 here, the slot wide receiver is going to be on. A lot of people will run the play stock. You'll face that a lot. If you're playing a more advanced player, you're going to have to worry about just like adjustments that they make to the play. They may put like a streak or a post or something, but I'm going to immediately switch off here. So let's let the computer hike the ball. You can see I'm sitting there, I'm taking away the whip route, and then my only other person to guard there is the curl in the middle of the field, because this hook zone on the right side is going to cover the whip by himself on that 5 yard, the 5 yard yellow, and then all I got to do is guard the other side. So let him hike the ball again. You can see this is what it's going to look like. Let me go ahead and hit the replay here. So immediately post snap, I'm going to be switch stick into the safety. Now you can see this yellow here is staying at 5 yards. So this whip route is completely taken out of the play. You cannot throw that. And then I'm over here covering this other whip and then switching to this curl over the middle. Now, if you just go ahead and run a cover 2 shell here, you won't have to worry about the whips at all. Now, I do have another controller set up here, so we'll just set up another play setup. Something that people might do, they might streak this guy here, run it like this. We'll just wait for the hike. We'll switch stick. And you can see that it's taken away. If they have a little bit of time, they may try to throw the corner on the left-hand side. But basically what we're going to do here, seeing we take away the whips, I can switch stick to this outside corner in order to take away this corner. But that's only going to get open if you run the cover 2 version. So another variation that you might face in whips Just set the defense. Here, we have it here. They might do something like this. They might post Y, and then they'll leave either X in that corner, or they'll stem him down to like a shorter corner, like this. Another variation you could face is just having a post with a streak, and you're still going to play everything the same here. As soon as they call hike, switch stick to the middle guy, and then everything is taken away. Like I stated, if you don't run cover 2, simply just sit on the other whip route. So the left whip route, as soon as I switch stick off, I just cover that other whip route, take it away, and then everything else over the middle of the field, I'm going to jump up and user myself. And this yellow here is going to completely take away that route. So a lot of the times here with PA Verts, they're going to block the running back, and that's going to basically make the loop blitz not come in, but it's still going to shed really well, especially with quick jumps on the line and also the contains that we do in the defense. But this is a very popular setup here. What I do here, I just go ahead and run this shell, and then I'm going to go ahead and third Y here, and then we leave our user in the yellow again. We're going to just keep them in the yellow basically all the time, unless they have a habit of hitting the flats on this right side. So let's go ahead and hike the ball here. See, we're going to switch stick, and then you user just basically wherever the routes are going. So if you know they're in PA Verts, you got to really watch this crossing route over the middle of the field. And also you don't want to run cover 2 because this X route is going to get wide open. So if they have a habit of running PA Verts a lot, definitely do not run the cover 2 shell. Now another setup that they might do looks like this, and then they'll stem down the corner. It looks like this, and then they'll simply just do something like drag the tight end, block your running back. You can table right your running back, whichever you want to do. We're going to keep everything the same. The same stock shell is really good. See, I'm covering it here. I noticed that they put the corner out. We switched it right to the flat. You just got to basically be aware of the plays that your opponent is calling. If they have a habit of throwing corners, if they like to throw over the middle, are they spamming whips a lot? Basically, you're gonna tell yourself who you need to switch stick to, which defender you're gonna have to switch stick to in order to take away their routes. Last up here, what we're going to do is just cover how to stop off tackle, or what I personally do to stop it. I basically will set up the defense exactly what we're going to do to stop the pass. We're more worried about the pass plays in this than the run, personally. But you can see I put styles here in the yellow. I'll sit down here. If I recognize a run, I'm going to sprint directly to the left. And what I want to do, or what the goal is to keep the running back from me being able to shoot outside. Because if they shoot outside here, they're going to get a lot of yards. That's what people with the off tackle try to do, is try to sprint directly to the outside because pursuit is broken on outside runs. So what we're going to do here is do our best to contain the running back. If by any chance we're unable to really stop it like this, what I'm going to do is use my safety here just for a little bit of extra support. Styles here will still do a decent enough job of covering the whips route on the tight end in this yellow zone here on the line. So let's go ahead and run the ball a few times here. So once we recognize the run, we're sprinting left. He got 2 yards. We're not really worried about that. We'll give him 2 yards all day, especially if he has quick jump. Number 0 will just fly through the line. Let's just make sure we have the defense set up. Otherwise, we're just running right to the left as soon as we see that it is a run play. We want to take out the outside so they can't just sprint out towards the sidelines to get a bunch of yards. And like I also stated, if you're not really comfortable with doing it this way, or you don't feel like you're going to stop the run, use the safety here and make sure you cut off the outside so they can't take it up the field for big yards. So we're just going to run to the left. You can see 1, the linebacker shot through, and 2, even if he didn't, I'm going to be right there. See, you want to force him into traffic. What I'm doing here to make sure I cut off the edge, I've explained this in plenty of other videos. You can do the same thing with this run. So when I'm running to the left side, I'm going to hold the left stick and the right trigger down as soon as they hike the ball at a 7 to 8 o'clock position. So he's going to sprint right through here and not get picked up by the defense. If the bunch side is to the right, like the formation is flipped, you're going to do vice versa. You're going to just basically hold it towards the 4 and 5 o'clock position as soon as they hike the ball and hit turbo. So you can see with doing it this way, we are still stopping the run really easily. So as a last resort, if you're getting killed the other way, or like I said, you don't feel comfortable doing it that way, you can just stop the run like this. So the key thing here for bunch tight end is basically knowing how to shut down whips and off tackle. Those are two things that make this formation really explosive. I feel like it's all a knowledge gap. So if you don't know how to stop it, you're going to get destroyed by it. But just take a few minutes to go into practice mode, get these adjustments down, learn how to stop the run, basically how I explained it, and then you're going to be set for the rest of the year. So if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to comment below. Let me know what you think.